Yeah, what they'd done to me was unbelievable, unbelievable. I was in a coma and everything when I lost my kidney, so it was really bad. And then I ended up in dialysis, which was just a shock to reality. Just in a white room, no windows, plugged up to a machine, didn't know what was happening to me, super depressed. All stupid thoughts going through my mind, serious, crazy thoughts. You would see patients coming in, walking in, laughing and joking, ended up on dialysis, and within 4 or 5 years you'd see them no legs, blind, waiting on a transplant. And if a transplant never came, you wouldn't see them again, they'd end up dying. When I was on dialysis, you didn't live when you're on dialysis. You didn't go out, socialise. Never paid for 7 years. So that's what renal failure is all about. You don't pass urine. All your fluid, all your waste fluid goes into your bloodstream, and that's what dialysis is. It takes all the waste products out of your blood. Luckily enough for me, I got the phone call, and I ended up getting a transplant.
I was hallucinating. My head was absolutely bursting. I was urinating blood. I had 100 things wrong with me by this time. I had a bleeding ulcer. So now I've just got a couple of tests to do, and then hopefully that'll be me ready for a transplant. My son's been the donor. He's very near finished all the tests. It's absolutely frightening when they're telling you what could happen. So I'm like, I don't know if I could do this. And excuse me. And he's like, heck, it's nothing I didn't know already. When you don't really know a lot when you first come in, so you get talking to folk, and people are telling you they've been on dialysis for 8 years. And another one will tell you 2 years. I says, I can handle it. That's not a life to me. Coming in here 3 times a week, 15 hours a week, I just don't see it as a quality of life at all compared to what it used to be. So if we didn't have any kids, I don't think I'd be here, and that's the truth. I mean, I think now every family should sit down and talk about it, at least. Saving somebody's life and giving them a body part that you're not going to use. It's just unbelievable.
I don't think you need a long and in-depth conversation. You know, I think if you've got a good relationship with your family members, to me it's the most natural thing in the world just to have that conversation. I think it must be better than winning the lottery. You can do without money, but you really can't do without.
My transplant came from a young girl of 35. Now I'm sure, was it a cerebral hemorrhage she'd taken, I think? But she had 2 young children. And you know, you were happy that this had happened to you, but you were feeling, you know, so sad for that girl that had died and left her family. So about a month later, I sat up, tried to write letters to her family again. And suddenly about 2 o'clock in the morning, I realised what I was going to say, and that was me sitting at 2 o'clock in the morning writing her a letter again, just to see her family, to thank them for what they'd done. Because, oh, the difference. If that's what you want, make sure your family knows that that's what you want.
There isn't enough organ donations now, and I think going into 2020 and having it reversed round where you have to opt out, I think is great, but we have to make sure people are aware of that and that they talk about it. Otherwise, it doesn't matter what we do with the lot, it's not going to change the stats or the figures, do you know? It's not going to change it. Even if you've opted in, you've never had that conversation with your family. When it comes round to it, they're not prepared for that and they say no. And I think that's very sad because they're going against your wishes. So it's important that you do discuss it with your family so they're aware of it. And it takes that difficult conversation away at a time when everything's really dreadful anyway. Enjoy your life and then pass it on to somebody else for them to have a life. Because that's what we're talking about, is another go at life.